Hey, good evening, my friends and fellow hackers. This is day 46 of my Zero to Pro Ethical Hacking series. And if you don't know, I train every day, one try hacker room, one new skill, always ethical, and by 30, I'll be a professional hacker. So, today I got an exciting one, tooling via browser automation. Now, if you didn't see my last episode, I'll briefly explain the trouble I ran into. I needed to brute force a login screen, but it had a captcha that changed every single time whenever the page refreshed. So when doing the brute force attack, I had to make sure I also got the captcha correct. So in order to do that, I needed to use a program known as Selenium, and I have no idea what that program is. So amazingly, TryHackMe has a room dedicated to this called Tooling via Browser Automation, creating custom tooling for application testing using Selenium and Playwright, which is exactly what I need in my arsenal. So I have this room booted up. I've been excited. I was looking forward to this room all day. It's Friday, so I get to spend as much time as I need to on this because I don't got anything to do tomorrow. Or, well, I just don't got to wake up early tomorrow. So, let's get moving on this. So, the ability to create your own custom tooling is critically important for web application red teaming. Rarely will you be able to find a tool or plugin that will do exactly what you need. This then calls for you to develop custom tooling. This custom tooling module will showcase different ways you can approach this problem. Each option is unique and has its benefits and drawbacks. In this room, we'll focus on using browser automation to create tools and exploits. Browser automation tools allow you to write software that will interface with your browser as a normal human does. This provides some distinct advantages, as the browser will already take care of a significant amount of the processing for you, such as running JavaScript and updating the document object model, or DOM, as requests are made, leaving you to focus on the exact actions that you want to automate. While this is a more popular option with unit and quality test case for developers, threat actors can leverage the same tooling to create exploits. In this room, we'll showcase Selenium. However, there are several different types of browser automation tools that you could use. Let's dive in and use Selenium to create our own custom tools and exploits. Now, this did have a prerequisite called custom tooling using Python, and I really should take a look at that room because my Python is not phenomenal by any means. But I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to continue with this room. So, learning objectives. Understand how Selenium works and how it can be used to create custom tools and exploits. Beautiful. That's exactly what I want. Learn about the considerations when using browser automation. Learn how to create a custom Selenium script to brute force Captchas. And that is exactly the purpose of why we're doing this room today. And Saturday, I'll be doing that room again, and this time completing it with the materials that I learned from this room. So I've already deployed this virtual machine, so we're going to begin. And look at this. We're on day 46 of this. You guys can't even see it. Day 46 of the streak. We're cooking it up today, folks. We're cooking it up. We're more than halfway through the 90-day goal. However, I'm actually aiming for 1,000, so we're not that close with that goal, but we're, step by step. Let's go. Why use browser automation for red teaming? In the previous room, we looked at how intercepting proxies and custom plugins could help us process and manipulate communication that made use of custom cryptography. However, this approach requires that we reverse engineer the crypto and replicate the logic ourselves. Maybe I should have taken a look at the previous room. Browser automation changes things for us. When you automate the browser, you no longer have to manually break through the layers of encryption. Instead, you let the browser do the heavy lifting, just as it would for a legitimate user. The JavaScript running in the application performs all its logic client-side, including custom encryption and DOM manipulations. By using browser automation tools, you interact with the application exactly as a real user would. This means that the browser does all the processing for you. Your automation can simply extract the final payloads or responses once they are rendered or transformed. This makes browser automation tools incredibly useful for bypassing Captchas and client-side restrictions. Since you're simulating real interactions, many bot detection mechanisms become less effective. Certain browser automation tools even allow you to inject your browser context, which means the browser used by the automation software will have established trust to bypass bot detection mechanisms. Triggering multi-step workflows. Some exploits require interacting with the application across several screens or user actions. Browser automation allows you to chain these steps together fluidly. Lifting rendered or dynamically generated values. Often, the data or tokens you want only appear after JavaScript executes. Browser automation gives you direct access to the live DOM and rendered values. In short, browser automation tools allow you to embrace the application's logic rather than fight it. By navigating the app as a user would, you could bypass client-side controls, extract dynamic data, and build more resilient and realistic exploits. Choosing the right strings for you. There are many browser automation tools available, each with its own strengths, supported environments, and use cases. While many of these tools are typically used for UI testing, red teamers and threat actors can repurpose them to interact with web applications in ways that simulate a real user. Below is a comparison of some of the popular options. All right, and here are the browser automation tools they have. They have Playwright, Selenium, Puppeteer, Pytesseract, Power Automate. Wow, interesting. I'm very interested in Selenium, and it's saying that Playwright might even be better than Selenium. So that's very interesting. So Playwright allows for Python, Java, C#, and JavaScript. Fast and supports almost all browsers out of the box. Sounds promising. Have a slightly steeper learning curve than more established options. Okay, fair enough. It's a bit more complex, it seems. Selenium, Python, Java, C#, JavaScript, same as Playwright. Large community and supports all major browsers. Slower than newer frameworks and may require complex setup. Okay, but I feel like once we get it set up, it could be a useful tool. Puppeteer is JavaScript-based interface, Chrome only, and therefore requires more setup for other browsers. Pytesseract, Python wrapper for Puppeteer to allow better script control, and it's been deprecated. Power Automate, I could really just pass on Power Automate. I'm not too interested. However, GUI level automation to better simulate realistic user behavior. It's less precise and doesn't currently have cross-platform support. In this room, we'll use Selenium due to its ease of use, Python support, and broad browser compatibility. We'll also use Playwright to show you a more modern automation tool. You'll learn how to leverage these tools to interact with the browser in a human-like manner, chain actions together, extract and manipulate data, and even begin to build browser-driven exploits. Which browser automation tool only has language support for Python? And that would be Puppeteer. Woohoo. Oh, I didn't type anything. Puppeteer. I think there's two P's here. Great. Which browser automation tool uses GUI level automation? Obviously, that is Power Automate. All right. Let's begin by bypassing common security controls. Selenium is a powerful browser automation tool, often used for testing, web scraping, or even stimulating user behavior for penetration testing. Give me one moment. I'm just going to open my notebook. In this task, we will break down how our Python script uses Selenium to automate the login process and bypass common security controls. Before we analyze the script, let's understand some essential concepts related to automating web interactions using Selenium. WebDriver. Selenium's WebDriver controls the browser and allows us to navigate to pages, interact with elements, and extract data. And that's I know the WebDriver is an essential part of Selenium, so that's good to know. Element identification. Selenium provides various methods to locate and interact with elements using attributes like ID, name, or XPath. Good to know. Okay. Headless mode. A way to run browsers without a graphical interface, making automation faster and more efficient. Cross-site reforgery. Nope. CSRF. Cross-site request forgery. Okay, I think I had it. Also known as CRF, is a web security vulnerability that allows an attacker to induce users to perform actions that they do not intend to perform. All right. Web applications often use cross-site request forgery tokens to prevent malicious requests. With Selenium, since we're using a browser, the CSRF token is always dynamically generated and submitted with each request. Excellent. That was actually part of it, of the previous room that we had to figure out, is the CSRF protection. Stealth techniques. Selenium stealth prevents detection by mimicking human behavior and masking automated fingerprints. The second VM IP refers to the IP of the machine in the second room. Okay. The web application hosted at HTTP second VM IP validates every login request using a CSRF token. The goal is to perform a brute force attack using a Selenium-based script to determine the correct password. Okay, has the auth. Oh, and it gives you the CSRF token. I see. Interesting. The provided Python script in the VNC VM uses Selenium to attempt login attempts using a word list of passwords. Below is the breakdown. So, from selenium.webdriver.common, import by. From Selenium, import WebDriver. From selenium.webdriver.chrome.options, import options. From selenium.webdriver.chrome.service, import service. And from Selenium stealth, import stealth. Okay. We are also importing time and import logging. From fake user agent, import user agent. Okay. Excellent. So, Selenium WebDriver controls the Chrome browser for automation. Selenium Stealth is used to prevent bot detection, and fake user agent generates realistic browser fingerprints to avoid detection. This is like jam-packed with information here. Configure the browser. The browser is configured using various Chrome options for optimal performance and stealth. Okay, so we have options with the options function, UA as a user agent function, user agent equals user agent or UA.random, options.add argument, no sandbox, headless, start maximized, F user agent equals user agent, okay, disable dev SHM usage, disable cache, disable GPU. So, no sandbox prevents Chrome from using the sandbox mode. Let me make some notes here. I can't even, okay. Headless runs Chrome without a graphical user interface. Makes sense. Start maximize ensures the browser is fully maximized. Self-explanatory. F user agent equals user agent generates a random browser user agent, helping the script evade detection. Okay. Makes sense. Using ua.random, we're calling the user agent. That totally makes sense. Disable -dev.shm-usage prevents memory limitations in Docker containers. Interesting. Okay. Disable cache ensures the browser fetches fresh data for each attempt. That's very useful. Excellent. To prevent detection, the script uses Selenium Stealth, which modifies browser behavior to mimic a legitimate user. So we have languages, English, Fender, Google, with a platform, fix hairline. Interesting. So, languages mimics a common browser language in vendor configuration. WebGL vendor and renderer masks GPU details to avoid detection through fingerprinting. Okay. And fix hairline fixes rendering discrepancies that can indicate headless mode. Okay. Got its protections. That's very cool. Performing the brute force attack. Let's make this bigger. So you folks, if you're, let me see if I can actually minimize this. Let's take a look. Performing the brute force attack. The script uses Selenium to attempt login attempts using a list of passwords. Here's how it works. We have an IP variable. We have a login URL variable. Dashboard URL, okay. Username, passwords, which is with the array of passwords. Very simple, honestly, very simple. The application is, yeah. Each password is submitting using Selenium's find element. Okay, so it's finding the element to put the one of these strings in. Okay, so we have chrome.getLogin URL. We're waiting a couple seconds to get the URL. Chrome find element by name, username, send keys, username, which was the admin, right? Chrome find element by name, password, and that's just the password array. Form. So far, very straightforward here, which is, I like that. Chrome.get, it loads the login page. Find element locates the username and password input fields using their name attributes. Makes sense. Send keys simulates typing into those fields. Submit finally submits the form. Beautiful. Very, very straight to the point. Validating login attempts. After submitting the form, the script checks for successful login by verifying whether the browser was redirected to the dashboard. If dashboard URL in Chrome current URL, the login was successful. It was able to get to the dashboard. Flag element equals chrome.find element by tag name P. Flag equals flag underscore element dot text dot strip. Print F flag. Okay. That was failed. I'm a bit confused on this because I'm not sure what P is. I'm going to get some extra help so I can understand this concept. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to simply open up ChatGPT. Can you explain this line of code to me? And I just got to be slightly careful about how I show ChatGPT, but I'll show you guys the response in a manner where I could do this securely. There we go. We're going to make this a little bit more. Can you explain this line of code to me? And I simply pasted the line of code. Nice. That's Python plus Selenium. Or Selenium like WebDriver. What the snippet does line by line. If dashboard URL is in Chrome current URL, then it assumes a login succeeded, right? Boom. Oh, paragraph element. Okay. So it finds the first paragraph element on the page by tag name is a Selenium selector strategy. That's all I needed to know. And then strip removes leading trailing white spaces. Beautiful. So it's just showing you the first paragraph, and it's stripping out any of the white spaces. It lets you know that you've reached the login successful. Very, very excellent. And we're just going to paste this. All right, excellent. So very simple to execute the script. We just call the Python script using Python 3. Source and bin activate. Let me just check what that does. Let's see if that's just calling anything of importance. That activates a Python virtual environment located in the end. Okay, so it activates a Python virtual environment. All right. Beautiful. And what is the flag? If a valid password is found, so it actually wants me to perform this. Very exciting. So let's open up my, I don't really want to use the attack box, but the second VM IP refers to the IP of the machine in the second room. All right. I just needed to start the second VM that was listed at the very first question. To start off, I'm going to need to download these two pre-required modules. So it's pip3 install selenium-stealth fake user agent Pytesseract pillow and playwright. Let's make sure that's all it was. Yep. Did I spell anything wrong? All right, we have to actually update this so that it's correct. So it's going to be sudo apt install python 3 dash. I think it's just install. Apt install. Let me try that. And I'm going to enter my password in. Unable to locate these packages. All right, give me one moment as I figure this out. All right, let's start building the Selenium script. First, I'm going to show you the login page that we will be trying to get to. It is this, and if we look at the page source, we see that it's also offering a CSRF token. Okay. So let's go to my terminal. We're going to open up Nano, and we're going to call this exploit.py. Now, we're going to put this up side by side with the original here, and we're going to copy the code that it provided me. So first off, we're going to get our imports, and we're going to paste our imports. Great. And I would like to now do this section. We're going to add this, our options, to allow it to be all those specific options we discussed earlier. Stealth, we're going to implement the stealth features. And I might actually add some comments to this so we can understand. So this is initializing our stealth settings. These are our Google Chrome options. There we go. I like that red text in that. Looks really nice. All right. It looks like next we're going to have to set up our targets. So we got the targeting. And we got the targeting here. So poop and paste that, and let's get the correct IP address here. So this is, oh, well and good. Let's find that. It's 10.10.150.31, and I see it at the top here. We're going to fix the login URL, 10.10.150.31, and once again, we're going to just change this to 10.10.150.31. Now, I felt it looks well. Okay. I'm actually seeing auth.php, but I don't think we'd have to change this script too much. Okay, we're going to get to the Chrome. So this is just the actual targeting and looping. Let's implement that. We're going to call this... oh, well... Let me close this. Is there a for statement here? Because we want this to loop. So we're going to come back to this. So, wait, do we need that part to loop though? No, but that's just the variables. So you know what, that's fine. And it also looks like I pasted... Oh, you know what? I pasted this twice. Whoops. Let me get this out of here. Great. And we're going to get this, the actual form submission. So this is the form submission. We're going to paste this. Right, chrome.get, the login URL, time.sleep. Okay, and then if all looks good after the form submission, we might put a sleep here. Okay. Right, does that look good? I'm just gonna put a, just for me, if dashboard URL and Chrome current URL, login successful with password. Okay. And then this guy, he has a cleanup, so I'm going to add his cleanup method here. Cleanup, which is just a chrome.quit, which I guess just gracefully terminates what we need. Oh, okay. When we just want to do one more repeat here. So this Chrome get find tag username password. Oh, okay. So he's doing this in a loop. He's doing this in a loop. So what he's doing first is he's finding the element by name. And we're going to say the first one's username. And he's calling the clear function. So that way it's clear. So element by name. And of course now we're doing password. And that is clear. So we also want to put this in a for loop. So okay. We're going to put this in a for loop. So for password in passwords. So it's going to keep, you know, boom, 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 boom. And I just want to correct the indents. Ooh, that's weird indents. That's really far. Maybe that's normal, though. It's been a while since I've actually coded anything. So, and we can keep this in the for loop as well. We want this whole action here. Okay. Yep. Yep. And then break. Boom. Let's get the else statement over here. We want that. There we go. Beautiful. So, otherwise, so if I got everything correct here, I'm going to make this a bit bigger just so we can review it. For passwords in passwords. Chrome.find element, username and password. We're going to clear those fields. Now, we're going to enter the, what we have, the admin and a quick little list that we have right there. And we're going to submit. Now, did I have to enter the CSRF token? Is that how user agents? Oh, this guy actually has a user agents array here. So we might have to randomize our user agents. I forgot to randomize. Oh, well. Oh, this guy is actually avoiding fake user agent. So these two he doesn't have in his script. Let me see what happens when we run this. See if we have any issues with no module name Selenium. Okay, we still have to work on installing our required modules. Give me one moment as I figure out how to install our required modules. Okay, I'm going to try this real quick. Python 3 venv. And there's a chance I might not have to do any of this, but I'm going to do it. Python-v pip-v python-m pip install upgrade pip setup tools wheel. Now, I'm just doing this because ChatGPT is going to help me, because I was having difficulties with my pip trying to install things. So I'm trying to get this up to date. Okay, so sudo apt install y build essential package config Tesseract OCR lib Tesseract dev and poplar utils, and that's not sudo. Now hopefully this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Unable to locate the package. I think I need to sudo apt update here. Give me one moment as I sudo apt update. I'm going to try sudo apt upgrade. Okay, so I was just doing the command wrong this whole time. So it's just a simple Python dash, I'm going to do the next one anyway, Python dash m pip install Selenium stealth. I'm just going to do it one at a time with what it's giving me. And once, I'll just do it with you guys, so it's not going to take that long. Okay, now we're just downloading fake user agent, Pytesseract, pillow, playwright, and Python. Okay, I gotta get the last one, Python OWASP zap v2.4. And that should download the last remaining ones. And if all is well, I can execute my script, and hopefully we are able to bypass the first flag. Okay, and let's take a look. Python 3 exploit.py. Let's see if we're Chrome. Let me try this one more time. I'm just gonna try it with just before I go and review what Chrome is. I'm just gonna see if maybe I'm just using the wrong Python version before I try anything. Okay, no worries. Let's take a look back at our exploit.py and see what I typed wrong. So I have stealth Chrome here. Okay. I think that's all it is. I think I already know what the issue is. But let me just review. No, well, did I not? I did. So this is... Let's take a look back at that error message. Okay, so I'm actually just missing the Chrome, me actually initializing the Chrome driver. So I'm gonna just say Chrome equals webdriver.chrome. Oh, whoops. Chrome options equals options. And okay. I think that's all that was. So let's try to run that again. Now what's happening? Oh, we got a memory error, huh? Chrome get login URL. Now I wonder if I just... Let's make this a bit smaller here, just so I can read it. Alright, so you clearly tell I'm still a beginner at Python, as in my script, right here, I had the actual IP typed out, and I had this F right here, and the F is there so I can call the variable instead of that. So I was typing a malformed website link. So let me see what the next error is, because I'm sure I messed up quite a bit here. By. I just capitalized the word by. Exploit. There, I see it right there. Yeah, it happens. As though I do more Python scripts, I think I'll get more. This is a really good test for me. Because I'm kind of familiar with Python because Python's such a basic language. Or to understand it, it's not too complex. So, we're starting to make some progress. I'm getting cooked. Yes, I did it. I've done a. No, I'm gonna actually rename this to basic CSRF automation. And look, I did it again. Automation. Beautiful. Oh, wait. I actually want to do it to that was dumb. Basic to basic dot py. There we go. Excellent. So we got the CSRF. Now obviously it was just a proof of concept. It wasn't a hard test or anything. Excellent though. I'm very happy we were able to do a very basic test. Now I want to do automating CAPTCHA bypass, the real root of this tool. Now I really like this one. So this is the login screen. We have username, password, and CAPTCHA. And CAPTCHA is changing every time. How do we brute force this? Okay. I'm really excited for this one. I just want to see what cookies we're getting. We have a PHP session ID. Okay. Let's review. And I can actually complete this. Oh, did that close the room on me? Was that dumb? Okay, it did not close the room on me. So let's begin by reading this section. CAPTCHAs, or completely automated public Turing tests to tell computers and humans apart. Wow. Are a common security mechanism designed to prevent automated bots from accessing web applications. By presenting a challenge that is easy for humans but difficult for bots, they effectively mitigate brute force attacks. However, attackers often attempt to bypass CAPTCHAs using automated tools like Selenium and optical character recognition, or OCR, engines such as Pytesseract. And most commonly, in at least my IT environment, I see OCR being used on PDFs to automatically translate scanned images so my users could highlight the text. So, in this task, we will break down how we could use Selenium to automate CAPTCHA solving during a brute force attack. The script will capture the CAPTCHA image, process it for enhanced clarity, extract the text using OCR, and attempt a login using different password combinations. Before we analyze the script in the VNC VM, let's understand some essential concepts related to CAPTCHA bypassing using Selenium. CAPTCHA identification. Selenium captures the CAPTCHA directly from the web pages as a PNG image using browser-level screenshots. Wow. Image pre-processing. The CAPTCHA image is processed using the Pillow library to enhance the quality and increase the accuracy of the OCR result. I see. That makes sense what Pillow's for now. OCR. Tesseract OCR extracts text from the CAPTCHA image. It converts visual data into readable text. Makes 100% sense. All right, let's take a look at the web application. It has this CAPTCHA that is changing, and we also have a CSRF token. So here is what it looks like. So we're importing fake user agent, that's normal. From PIL, import image, image enhancer, image filter, import Pytesseract, import IO, and import OS. So we have a few new ones here. Sorry, I'm also taking notes on this side. So Selenium web browser controls the browser to automate interactions. Stealth, bot detection, fake user agent, realistic browser fingerprints. Pillow image processing and enhancement. Tesseract performs OCR to extract Captcha text. The script uses Chrome WebDriver with various configurations. Okay, and we're just using fake user agent as before. No sandbox. Implementing stealth techniques. Same as before. Okay, and to perform this, we are now grabbing the image tag and captured using as a screenshot as a PNG. Okay. Totally makes sense. So we are taking a picture using find element. Okay. And then we are processing the image through OCR using Pillow. Interesting. I'm going to just copy this so I have it for my notes. Okay. And we have image open, captcha underscore PNG, and we're converting that to L. Okay. We're resizing the image. We're making it double as big, and we're calling Lanxos. Image filter that sharpens, so we're trying to enhance, trying to add more contrast, and whatever that is supposed to be doing. But it looks like we're basically enhancing the image. That's the objective of this, and it's using its predefined pre-processing functions. So now Tesseract is used to interpret the captcha and extract the text. Okay, so we're using the Pytesseract and we're storing it in this captcha text variable, and it's trying to determine it using these predefined characters. So we have PSM7 Tesseract's mode. And we have a whitelist, and we have a strip to remove any white space that okay. And now we have the actual submission, just using our typical Chrome find elements and filling in the username, password, and now the captcha input field. So now we're just adding that additional field into captcha input, and we're submitting. Okay. And we have a typical if statement if we get to the destination URL. And we are executing the script. So let's take a look here at our script. And I'm going to do a copy basic. And we're going to do basic captcha automation.py. Okay, and we're going to nano into that, and we're going to call this captcha automation. And let's take a look at the new things we need to add here. So we see that we need to import Pytesseract, we need to import IO, we need to import OS. We also need to import Pillow. So from pill import image enhance, image filter. Make sure I didn't mistype anything. I sometimes have a double capital. So let's go down to our options. We're still using the user agent, and not much has changed in this section. Let's take a look at our stealth. Nothing has changed in that section either. But however, now we're adding a captcha section. So we're actually going to add, since we have some variables already here, let's add another variable. Let's get the captcha variable here, which is this captcha. Oh, but you know what? I don't have my Chrome elements here. I have my Chrome elements here. So I'm going to make this. And right here, we're going to add my, I might do it right before form submit. And we're going to right here. Oh, but we're sending keys. Let me do this at the very top. Chrome. Nope. We're going to do a captcha image element equals chrome.find element by tag name image. And that's just all it is. Okay, it's just an image tag. Now we're going to do a captcha underscore png equals captcha underscore element dot screenshot as png. Now we're going to do some processing. So it does require quite a bit to process during this for loop though. Image dot open io.bytes io captcha underscore png. That's what we are calling out to, and we're closing both of these. Convert into L. Now, I don't know what L is. That's the only thing that's throwing me off here. I don't know what L is, but we'll come back. We'll figure it out. Image equals image dot resize, and we're making the image twice as big, times 2 image dot height times 2, and then image dot lengthos. Like, I don't know what that means either, but we're gonna assume it's making whatever we need more clearer. Sharpen. Okay, sharpen. Beautiful. Image equals image. Enhance. We're adding some contrast now on our screenshot 2.0. Image equals image dot point lambda, and we got some funky stuff going on here. 140 else 255 1. Great. So now we are going to use Pytesseract to translate the image. So we have captcha underscore text, a new variable, and we're calling Pytesseract image to string. And we have image config equals, and we are tsm7 -c test edit char whitelist equals, and it's just alphanumerical. This guy doesn't even have the number 1 in here. I wonder why. Okay, and we're gonna close the parentheses, and we are doing a strip. Replace any with boom boom. Dot replace any new lines with this, and we're making it all uppercase. Now we are just adding, whoops, another chrome.find underscore element by name captcha input, and we are going to send the keys to captcha text. And we just have the simple if statement that tells us, hey, did you get in? And we have a chrome.quit. So let's take a look and see if we are able to. Now I have to change our links here because I am now using the second lab. So let me go back to my variable here, my IP variable, and we're just doing lab 2. Python 3, and let's see what errors we've made. Unmatched. I see it right there. Okay. Let's go back into basic captcha. And let's see why we missed out on this one here. Where did we miss out on? Do I need 2 here? Is that what supposed to happen? Because why do I have... Ah, yes, I missed one. Okay, let's run this again. There's no chance I got that smoothly first try. So let's give it a second here to error out. I apologize, not first try, second try. Alright, I'm just going to compare my script to the one this fella has here. I also input into my password list the correct password, just so I don't mess around too long. And I know that the tool is working. So let me make sure my imports are correct. I have all of the, yep. I have a bit more imports than him. However, that's okay. Fake user. I'm using fake user. He manually put his user agents in. From pillow, import image, and I have image enhance and image filter. Import Pytesseract, IO. He also has random. But he's using that for his fake user agents. I have my user agents here. Chrome, everything's looking good there. Maybe my IP address is wrong. I do want to check, make sure my IP address is still valid. 150.31, and I do, okay, good. 150.31 is still valid. Okay. And we're just using index, and we're using dashboard. My admin, and I have the password in there. This guy imported his own password list. However, I don't need that for right now. Chrome.get. Okay, and I have my, of course, let's get the captcha. Let's add my comments. Okay, he doesn't have a convert.l. Oh, no, he does. He does have a convert.l. He just has it on a separate line. Should I? What's the point? I mean, mine is doing what it needs to. Image filter, medium filter. My sharpen is fine. Lambda. He went a bit higher on his lambda. What are you gonna do? Okay. Make sure that's good. Pytesseract. Okay. And he did something kind of clever. He just only limited this to a maximum of 5 characters. So effectively limiting the captcha length, because you're not getting more than 5. So we're going to fill in the login form. And you know what? That's also what I missed. I missed a clear statement. He added clear so he could brute force this repeatedly by name. And we are clearing the captcha input with a .clear function. Okay, additionally, what he added was, not only did we get the right password, he also set it so we see the captcha that was correct, which is cool. And he just put in the old captcha text here. Great. And do I have to do anything to that to get the variable to show? Okay, I think that's just how you quote variables. Okay. Okay, otherwise, all looks well. So let's execute this and see what happens. Okay, I think I gotta do a bit more tweaking. I didn't get too lucky here. I think I just have to modify my Pytesseract. It looks like I did not do this properly, as it threw a big old error for Pytesseract. So we're going to just clear out this, and I'm going to do a copy and paste directly from the script that was provided to me from TryHackMe. So I could just do and we're going to just paste this one right into there. And this looks weird. Oh, it's the word cap. We're going to just bring everything on over. Okay. And that should fix up that error. I must have just mistyped it horribly. And let's see what error we get now. Oh, still Pytesseract. I simply needed to just install Tesseract-OCR. I must have missed this. Alright, and now it is executing the logins. It's a little slow. Understandably, it's taking a screenshot every single time. However, it does accomplish the goal of solving the Captchas. So it should, I believe, after this password, it will be the correct password and should say successful. And look at that. Beautiful. All right, we got one last room here, vulnerability scanning, and this one is using the OWASP Zap API. And I'm actually in college at the moment, and OWASP's Zap is one of the first tools we learned during my ethical hacking course. So, in this task, we will use Playwright, a powerful tool for automating browsers and interacting with web applications. Playwright was developed as an upgraded alternative to Puppeteer, providing better cross-browser support and advanced automation capabilities. In this task, we'll use Playwright to automate web interactions, use OWASP Zap API to perform vulnerability scanning, and create a Python script that would automate the above actions and generate a vulnerability report. So we'll be using a personalized greeting web app that allows users to enter a name and show them a personalized message. Very cool, okay. So it wants me to go to the other VM here. I don't even remember what the VM's IP was. I'm going to do a strings real quick just so I can find what I have the URL set as. Where is the 10.10.12.176? 10.10.12.176 and on port 5000. Excellent. And we have the personalized greeting. Yeah. Cool. So this allows you to submit form data to the server, and it gets a customized message and shows it to the user. Obviously, that's the input field, and there's probably no validation of the user input, allowing us to mess with this. So, just due to the time of this, I think I might end up maybe doing a follow-up video later tonight, but it's been an hour, and I really wanted to figure out my brute forcing for Captchas. I thank you guys for joining me on this journey of exploring Selenium and Pytesseract, as well as Pillow for image enhancement. So, I train every day, one try hack me room, one new skill, always ethical, and this was a beautiful room. It's a beautiful Friday evening, and I hope you all have a nice weekend. And if you join me tomorrow, I thank you, and I hope you all have a good day. Thanks.